వెల్కమ్ టు హర్షిత్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్. ఇప్పటివరకు మన ఛానల్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోకపోతే సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోండి. ఆంధ్ర మరియు తెలంగాణలో నెంబర్ 1 ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసులు అందిస్తున్నటువంటి సంస్థ హర్షిత్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్. అందిస్తున్న కోర్సులు గ్రూప్ 1, 2, 3, 4, ఎస్ఐ, కానిస్టేబుల్, ఆర్ఆర్బి. మరిన్ని వివరాలకు వెబ్సైట్ని సందర్శించండి. అలానే ఉచిత మెటీరియల్ కోసం మన యాప్ని డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ అండి. This is Allah Bakshu, working as the Indian history faculty of so many reputed institutes. First, I have to discuss something regarding Indian history introduction. What is the importance of Indian history in all those competitive exams? So, in all competitive exams, especially group services and uniform services, the subject is very important for us, especially for aspirants. So first of all, I have to clear myself regarding the syllabus. For example, in the point of group services, either group 2 or above the group 2 level also, in generally they are giving the syllabus for us Indian history, just they mention Indian history only. At that time, especially for aspirants, what is the syllabus regarding the Indian history? From where to where we have to be learn? Especially non-history students, non-arts students, they are suffering a lot. From where to where we have to be read. What is the syllabus regarding? Simply they mention in the, especially in the notification, they use only Indian history. Now how do we read? Now what is the syllabus regarding? So especially now I have to clear regarding towards the group 2 or group above the group 2 level. From groups to group services, especially the Public Service Commission conducts these type of exams. For Service Commission point of view, what is the syllabus regarding the particular means? From Indian history is nothing but from generally Indus civilizations, which means Sindhu civilization. From Sindhu civilization to freedom movement. This is the Indian history syllabus, starts from Indus civilization to freedom movement. For example, suppose is it syllabus for Indian history towards the Service Commission exams? From where to we have to start to read? Indus Valley civilization to freedom movement, this is our Indian history syllabus. Especially in the Service Commission point of view, in the Service Commission exams, out of 100% of Indian history syllabus, around 90 to 95% is. Around 90 to 95% is out of 100% of the marks we are getting from Indian history that is from Indus civilization to freedom movement. The rest of the marks from where we will secure, where we will score. So that means the remaining percentage 10 or 5% of the remaining marks we will get from out of Indian history, which related to Indian history, is nothing but introduction of the history. Introduction of the history. That means here not I am saying Indian history. If we learn something regarding history, and we will get around 10 to 5% of the marks from this particular point only. Which means in this particular history, what is history? What are the sources of history? And what are the divisions of the history? What is the scope? Such type of some information we will get from the history only. So dear viewers or aspirants, if you will learn history also, then we will benefit a lot. As per the percentage of the marks, 90 to 95% we are getting from Indian history. Rest of the marks we are getting from history. The history is the common for. History is nothing but here. What is history? What is the definition of the history? Who is the father of history? What are the sources of history? What are the divisions of the history? These all information we will learn from history only. So, the ratio of marks, especially in the group services, up to group 1 level, around 90% from Indian history, remaining percentage from history. Suppose towards above group 2 level, it means group 1, or even though civil services, the pattern is the same. But there, the percentage of the marks in the Indian history, while compare with this, some less marks there have to be secure. For example, around 82 or 85% of the marks we are getting from Indian history, that is from Indus civilization to freedom movement, and the rest of 15 to 10% of the marks we are securing from history. From history. The viewers we have to be main observe, some percentage of the marks we are getting more from history while compare with the below the group 1 services. So this is up to group 2 and above group 1, even though civil services point of view regarding the Indian history syllabus. But in the clearly in the notification they mention only the Indian history. If you go through according to that one, we are not getting the maximum, we are not get the maximum marks. So if you learn along with the Indian history, regarding history, then we will secure the 100% of marks which are given. Suppose if you will come to uniform services, if you will come to the uniform services, which means a constable or essay, for such type of exams, syllabus is the same, but the ratio of from Indian history we will get up to 95%. Up to 95% we will secure from only Indian history. Rest of 5% of the marks we are securing from history. So, dear aspirants, we have to be observed. This is the very, very important, especially from the, especially to the non-history students. What is the syllabus regarding? How we will read Indian history? This is very, very important. While learning the Indian history, you have to learn along with the history, Indian history. History also you have to be read. So this is the very, very important. So this is the first two. Either group services along with the civil central level civil services, or at the state level any uniform services. This is a very, very common point. Everyone have to be concentrated how to. So we have to be divide the first of all syllabus in the two pattern. Indian history, second one is the history. From Indian history, that means you have to be read from Indus civilization to the freedom movement. Second, this is the part A. And part B, history. So, in the point of introduction, you have to be read history. But based on the level of the examination or based on the percentage of the marks of the a particular examination, you have to be give the importance. For especially, you have to more concentrate on group services, and you have some less priority you will give to the service, that means uniform services, especially regarding the history. But anyhow, history is the very, very important. Next, so along with Indian history, you have to be learn even though history also. Then one more very, very important. Okay, sir, is it okay? We will follow this one. Okay. Next, we have a great confuse regarding Indian history from where to where. Suppose I said now, from Indus civilization to freedom movement, and is nothing but around 3000 BC 3000 to 1947. You have to read around 5000 years Indian history. 5000 years history you have to learn here. From BC 3000 to 1947. So after 1947, no need to learn, but in some point of view, especially in the given notifications, they will clearly mention. If they have to be enhance the syllabus, clearly mentioned in the notification, Indian history up to 1964, sometimes up to 2000. Suppose if they will mention in the notification Indian history up to 1964, then we have to be read after freedom movement also, especially up to the Jawaharlal Nehru regime. Suppose if they will ask up to 2000, we have to be read up to 2000. Especially in the civil services and DSC in such exams, they are asking Indian history up to 1964, next Indian history up to 2000. There is no need to worry about this pattern for rest of either uniform services or the group services. They are clearly mentioned in the notifications, Indian history. Then we have to read only from Indus Valley civilization to freedom movement. Along with this one, you pay attention little bit on history. Is it enough? Is it enough? So, if you follow this one and you never get any confused while learn the Indian history, this is very, very important. So, you have to remember all these. First of all, what is Indian history? What is history? How much percentage of marks? In generally, they are coming from the particular, from how much percentage are from history, how much percentage are from Indian history, based on the level of examinations. Based on examinations, they are securing such some. So, this is the very, very important for non-history students. Next point, next one, okay, we know something regarding Indian history and along with history. Then next one more important, especially for non-history students, Indian history, which means from BC 3000, that is from Indus Valley civilization to freedom movement. And what are the chapters will cover? What are the chapters will cover? And this is also very, very important for us. So, let me give the clarity regarding for this one also. See, our Indian history subject will divide it into three. One is ancient Indian history, ancient Indian history. Next, medieval Indian history, and the third one is modern Indian history. Modern Indian history. Modern Indian history. So, from Indus Valley civilization to freedom movement, that is from BC 3000 to 1947, the total Indian history was divided into three important. One is ancient Indian history, medieval Indian history, and modern Indian history. See, the number one, first one is ancient Indian history from Indus civilization to 647 AD. That means BC 3000 to 647 AD. That means the death of Harshavardhana. From Indus civilization to death of Harshavardhana, this is ancient Indian history syllabus. The ancient Indian history starts from Indus civilization to 647 AD, that is the death of Harshavardhana. So, this is Indian history, especially part A, ancient Indian history. You come to the medieval, BC, not necessary. Medieval from 712. No, AD not necessary here. Already we are there in the AD only. AD 712, which means when the Muslims or when Arabs were invaded on India, from there onwards, from 712 to 1707, that means the death of later or the death of very, very important Mughal ruler, the Aurangzeb. Up to the death of Aurangzeb, the subject will cover in medieval Indian history. Once again, I repeat, medieval Indian history starts from 712 AD, that is from Muslims invasion on India or Arabs invasion to death of a great Mughal ruler Aurangzeb. Then from 1707 to 1947, that means the death of Aurangzeb. From there onwards, we got independence. Up to the subject will cover in the modern Indian history. So, the Indian history starts from BC 3000, that is Indus civilization, to 1947, that is we got independence, 1947. So, thus a total subject will divide into ancient, medieval and modern. Ancient from where to where, medieval from where to where, modern from where to where. So, this type of division. So, when we take the Indian history book, there the first page, chronological order is there. If you see the chronological order, we will get a great confuse. There the BC, AD and so many are there. Especially non-history students, they are getting a lot of confused regarding while observe the Indian history syllabus. So first of all, clearly observe the Indian history. So I gave the clarity, part A, part B, part C, that is ancient, medieval and modern. From ancient where to where, medieval from where to where, and modern from where to where. Now we have one clarity. Then next step, ancient from BC 3000 to 647 AD, that is the Data of Harshavardhana. So what are the chapters will cover under ancient Indian history? What are the chapters will cover in the medieval Indian history? What are the chapters will cover in the modern Indian history? And this also very important for us. So what chapters will cover in ancient, medieval and modern? So now I will give the clarity regarding that one. For example, first one is ancient Indian history. Ancient Indian history. The first one is Indus civilization. The second one is Indus civilization BC 3000 to BC 1750, not BC 1500, that means BC 1500. I will give the clarity when we have to use the word BC 1750. So, while discussing the Indus civilization, in that particular civilization again divided into mature phase and the later phase. Mature phase from 2500 BC to 1750 BC. Okay, we will discuss there. Again the Indus civilization were divided into mature phase and a later phase. Anyhow, Indus civilizations BC 3000 to BC 1500. Then next chapter, Vedic culture or Aryan culture or Aryan civilization. BC 1500 to BC 600. But here in this part also, we have the two divisions are there, early Vedic period and later Vedic period. Here also like mature Indus civilization period and later Indus civilization period. So Vedic civilization or Vedic or Aryan culture BC 1500 to BC 600. These two are the very important. Just we have to be observe for last 1 decade onwards what is the pattern of asking the questions in the Indian history, especially in generally in our Indian history. Any point of or any either Vedic or Indus and whatever it may be, every chapter here a few better to remember all these. For every chapter, like political history, economical history, political, economical, social and cultural. So, political history, economical history, then social and cultural history. So, these type of the important parts or the divisions are there in each and every chapter. In for last before 1 decade, in generally they were more concentrate on political history. But in that particular political history, in generally wars and treaties, who are the rulers, they ruled from way to way, such type of. This is, while compared with the culture, it is very easy to learn and easy to remember. And especially nowadays, for last 1 decade onwards, they are more concentrate on the cultural and socio-history. But this is something dry subject. Generally, history is the dry subject. And in that particular dry, this is more not easy to understood, not easy to remember. So that's why they are asking more. So based on this particular, now I said to Indus civilization and Vedic culture, especially the culture will cover in these 2 chapters very. The culture is very important. The culture is, maximum the culture is there in the 2 particular, Indus civilization and the Vedic or Aryan culture. See, in the Indian history, part A, the ancient Indian history, under ancient Indian history, number 1, a very important chapter for us, the Indus civilization. The second one is the Vedic or Aryan culture. And the third one is, one more very important, especially in the point of culture point of view also, knowledge era. Knowledge era is nothing but the origin of the Buddhism, Jainism, very important, some kind of the new religions are there. These are all there in that knowledge era. So the first is the Indus, second one is the Vedic or Aryan, the third one is the knowledge era. The topic will cover from around 600 BC to around 600 BC to 300 BC. So the next one, Mauryan culture, Mauryan period, Mauryas. But sometimes pre-Maurya and post-Maurya period. Pre-Maurya is nothing but knowledge era. Pre-Maurya is nothing but knowledge era. Post-Maurya is nothing but invasions of so many foreigners on India after decline or the fall of Mauryas. Post-Maurya. So the Maurya means before the Mauryas, pre-Maurya, then after post-Maurya. So that also very important. So knowledge, the second one is the Mauryan period. So starts around BC 321 or sometimes 320 BC to 184 AD. 184 AD. Then After Mauryas, post-Maurya period. Post-Mauryas are nothing but second branch of the foreigners, those who are invaded on India, like the Indo-Bactrians, Parthians or the Scythians, Kushanas, and the 5 branches of the Sakas. But all those, the second branch of the foreigners, those who are invaded on India, so and along with here culture. So 3 important schools, they are nothing but the Mathura, the Indo-Bactrian school of art and architecture is nothing but Gandhara school of art and architecture, and Mathura school of art and architecture, and Amravati school of art and architecture, and all those cover along with political history of post-Maurya period. See, in the particular post-Maurya period, political history is nothing but the invasion of the foreigners. But during that time, the culture is culture was spread very important in that particular period. The 3 different types of the schools were developed in India at different places, at Gandhara, Mathura and Amravati. These 3 schools are very important. These cover under the post-Maurya period. Then come to the next one is Gupta. Gupta's period. Gupta's period. So 4th, 5th, up to end of the 6th century, around 600 AD, covered under Guptas. 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th centuries, up to around 600 or 554 AD, up to there we have to be learned under Gupta period. So after Guptas is nothing but post-Gupta period. The post-Gupta period is nothing but post-Gupta period is nothing but Harshavardhana. He is the last Hindu ruler. He was ruled from 606 to 647 AD from Kanauj. So, dear my aspirants, we have to be remember from Indus civilization to Harshavardhana. This is very important period in our Indian history and the ancient Indian history especially. In this particular ancient Indian history, these many topics so far we will cover. Indian civilization, Vedic or Aryan culture, knowledge era, Mauryas, post-Maurya, Guptas, and post-Gupta period is nothing but Harshavardhana. See, all these important areas will cover are the important chapters in the ancient Indian history syllabus. So, in the Indian history, especially Indus civilization, the Vedic and knowledge era are very important in the point of culture. See, the next one is medieval Indian history. The next one is medieval Indian history. I already said from 712 AD to 1707, that is Arabs' invasion on India, from there to death of Aurangzeb is a great Mughal ruler. But in this particular medieval period, what are the important chapters we will cover? So the first one is the Muslims invasion or Arabs invasion 712 to up to the 1206. I mean before the launch of or establishment of the first Islamic empire in India, that is Delhi Sultanate. And especially under Muslim invasions, here we learn very, very important three characters: Muhammad bin Qasim, and next one is Muhammad Ghazni, and the next one is Muhammad Ghor. See, these three are the very, very important characters comes under the invasion of the Muslims. See, this is very, very important topic in the medieval Indian history. The next one is Delhi Sultanates. From 1206 to 1526. Establishment of the Delhi Sultans. This is the first Islamic empire in India. So Delhi Sultans from 1206 to 1526. This is very, very important area in the medieval, and in the exam's point of view, very, very important than the remaining chapters in Indian history. And the third one is amidst Mughals, the Mughal period. From 1526 to, actually the period starts from 1526 to 1860, means 18, after Sipai Mutni also. From 1526, the Mughal period was divided into here again the early Mughals or even though later Mughals. The period begin from 1526, AD is not 1526 to 1862. But the period again divided into early Mughal period, which means from 1526 to 1707 will cover in the medieval. Next, later Mughal period from 1707 to 1862. See, the topic will cover from in modern Indian history. Later Mughals. Anyhow, Mughals starts from 1526 to 1862. In the total Mughal period, in the medieval Indian history, only early Mughals, which means the up to the death of the very important Mughal ruler Aurangzeb. After death of Aurangzeb is nothing but that is a later Mughal period will cover in the modern Indian history on the name of decline of Mughal empire or decline of Mughal rulers or the later Mughals. That is the first topic in the modern Indian history. See, the medieval Indian history from 712 to 1707, that means early Mughal period only. See, but in this particular medieval Indian history, important how many chapters are there na total in this one? Muslim invasions, Delhi Sultans and the Mughals. Totally 3 chapters are there. But the medieval Indian history is somewhat typical while learned because of this is Islamic history. The pronunciation or the characters are somewhat different. So the viewers very important concentrate on while teaching the medieval Indian history. So, but chapters are very less in this one. Muslim invasions, Delhi Sultans and the Mughals, especially under Mughals, here we discuss only the early Mughal period. And the next one, the part C are nothing but the last in the Indian history, part C is nothing but modern Indian history. From 1707 to 1947. From 1707 to 1947. But what chapters will cover in this particular point? Number 1 is advent of the Europeans. Advent of the Europeans. This is a very important, the first topic in the modern Indian history. Then decline of Mughal rulers. Decline of later Mughals or decline of later Mughals. I said in the few minutes before, after 1707 to 1862. Then the advent of the Europeans, decline of the later Mughals, and the third one, next to very important. So the establishment of the British rule. Establishment of the British rule in India. The establishment of the British rule in India. This is very lengthy topic. Establishment of the British rule. Then the next one is Sepoy Mutiny. Sepoy Mutiny, the first war of India's independence. The first war of India's independence. This is very important in the examination point of view. Sepoy Mutiny. Then the next topic after that one, what are the important laws means made by the British to rule in India. So starts from 1773 from Regulating Act onwards, 1935 Government of British India Act. So different type of the laws which one framed made by the British government. Then later nationalist movement. Nationalist movements. Then freedom movement. Then the last one is freedom movement. Last one is freedom movement. These are the very important chapters. These are very important chapters which one covered in the modern Indian history.